But I felt that I needed my time away from everyone, my time to reconnect, my time to find myself again. Because whenever I go back to France, it's like I'm finding my old self again, I'm finding my childhood again, I'm finding the people again that I haven't seen in a year because I do this each year. Yeah, I had only driven about 3 hours the longest in one go, and I had worries that my body would not be able to take it. And also, I had never driven that long, and in north of France, I had never been, and I was gonna have to drive on the left side with the wheel on the right in the UK, and then I had to have the wheel on the right and drive on the right side in France. So I had a lot of things to worry about, and so I approached this whole journey with really um, first of all, finding the silence within myself, but then also drawing on the positive. So, trying to shift my mind into positive to motivate myself to bypass my fears.
Good evening, everyone. The UK time now is 8 p.m. We are conducting meditation 3 times a day at this forum for the benefit of world peace and harmony at UK times 9:30 a.m., 11 a.m., and at 8 p.m. Those who are joining from other nations, please make note of their local time in accordance with their time zone. Today's events are taking place for the day 1252. We are grateful for PSSM Tamil Europe and PSM Global India for their sponsorship as well as motivation and support rendered to us. Firstly, brief introduction to meditation and steps to perform will be explained, followed by 30 minutes of meditation. Thereafter, the main event for this evening will be a presentation from StephanieMugo Master, a trip to France. Finally, there will be time for discussion and announcement before we conclude the program. Let there be peace, harmony, health, and prosperity throughout the world. Let the benefits from our meditation as a group magnify and spread worldwide. Now, the meditation for this evening will be facilitated by Damayanti Master from Canada. Thank you.
Thanks, Jagannathan Master. Greetings to all. Thanks for joining to participate in this group of meditation. We are blessed to have this opportunity to do this meditation. Drink some warm water before and after the meditation. Sit in a comfortable position, either in a chair, sofa, or a floor. Keep your body relaxed. Keep your head upright and your spine is straight posture. Please remove your spectacles if you are wearing one. Gently close your eyes. Interlace your fingers like this and keep on your lap. Keep your feet crossed. Now focus on your normal natural breath, that is in breath and out breath. Breath is our guru. You may get thoughts during meditation, however, you need to concentrate on your breath again and again. Now a melodious music will be played. We will do this meditation for 30 minutes. First 15 minutes with music and other 15 minutes without music, silent meditation. Nandri. Masters, please come back to your normal awareness. Separate your hands and put your fingers gently over your eyes. Open your eyes gently in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We will clap our hands for 30 seconds to enjoy completing this wonderful group meditation. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, Damen the Master. Now let us thank Damen the Singarbil Master for facilitating the meditation, along with those who are behind the scenes in providing the posters and the music as well as recording of this program. Furthermore, our gratitude extends to our parents as well as well-wishers for their respective roles behind our birth, achievement, and good standing in the community. Also, our gratitude to the universe that provides the basis for every creation within it. More importantly, the sun rises each day, overcoming the darkness, providing necessary light for the survival of all species on Earth. Events at this forum provide the necessary means to overcome the darkness of our ignorance and light up our wisdom. We are grateful for Masters Mr. and Mrs. Iskandaraja, who were behind the inauguration of the forum as well as working tirelessly for its successful running. Let there be peace, harmony, health, and prosperity throughout the world. Let the benefits of our group meditation magnify and spread throughout. Now let us come for the evening program. Presentation by StephanieMugo-UK. A few words about her. We are all familiar with her. She's French, but now lives in London. As a meditation practitioner, she incorporates that with her way of living. As we all know, blissful peace at present moment is appreciated as a result. She is on a path to share this with the others. Besides this, she dedicates her time to offer weekly sessions of yoga at this forum, as well as in person at different parks around London, which we all go in to join. We are grateful for her service for the community here. She has extended that to mainland Europe, and her presentation today is to highlight with her trip to France. May I call upon StephanieMugo Master on behalf of this forum to come and deliver her presentation. Thank you.
Thank you for having me tonight. So first of all, let me apologize. I am nose and throat challenged tonight, as I haven't been well in the past days. I hope I will still be able to speak clearly enough. I may have to interrupt to have a sip of water once in a while. Okay, so this summer I went to France from London. I drove all the way down to south of France, and then I stayed a month there, and then I came back about a month later. And I tried with this journey it was a very scary journey. I had never done anything like this before. The longest that I had ever driven. Oh, sorry, there's feedback of microphone. Somebody's microphone, I think, might be on. Yeah, I had only driven about 3 hours the longest in one go. And I had worries that my body would not be able to take it. And also, I had never driven that long, and in north of France I had never been, and I was gonna have to drive on the left side with the wheel on the right in the UK, and then I had to have the wheel on the right and drive on the right side in France. So I had a lot of things to worry about, and so I approached this whole journey with really first of all finding the silence within myself, but then also drawing on the positive. So trying to shift my mind into positive, to motivate myself to bypass my fears and to release them also. So first of all, it was very stressful for me to organize it because I was very busy with everyday work and I actually had hardly got the time to organize for the trip itself until I think 2 days beforehand, I was finally able to look at the map to see where I was actually going to go. So that was quite scary in itself, but because I have been doing, so I forgot to mention, I've been doing meditation since about 2012 that I was aware of until recently. And then started teaching yoga in about 2021. I qualified and then I started teaching. But then I realized that I actually had started meditating when I was a child. I used to, in the summer, where I come from, we have mountains and hills and we've got rivers. And I used to go swim in the rivers every summer. And as I swam, I used to really spend the whole afternoon in the water and just observing and using my senses to enjoy. And I remember walking back home feeling like I was only filled with sunshine. There was nothing else in me but just sun. And so when I went down to France, I kind of reconnected with this. Um, as I drove, I don't know, do we have the photos for the trip? If we don't, I can show them on my phone.
Srikant Raja Master, have you got photos? Yeah, he's going to, I think, share it now.
Okay.
Will you be able to share it from your phone?
Me, I can
Stephanie?
show before the photo. So on a Sunday, I was going on a Monday. On a Sunday, I managed to sort out a music playlist so that I had calculated 4 hours playlist so that I can have a break every time that the playlist finishes if I forget. But then I had to have a break for the fuel as well and for my own needs. So on the Monday, I woke up at 4:30 in the morning and I had slept about 3 hours because obviously I was quite stressed. So I was really, really tired. And I was facing something like 15 hours of drive. And so I start going.
Stephanie, I'm ready whenever you are. You can tell me, I can do that. Yeah,
Yeah, you can. So if you put them in the right order that they've come to you, I hope
Yeah.
they've come in the right order.
Okay,
And
thank
then just put one, and then I can let you know when we need to change. Is that okay? Super. Okay, so you can put the first one. So I was driving down to the ferry. I woke up at about 4:30. Yeah, no, sorry. I woke up earlier than that because I started driving at 4:30. On the road, there was no one. Absolutely no one. And there I had that really deep sense of peace. And I was just driving so peacefully and quietly. My ferry was I was supposed to get there for about 7 o'clock. And I was supposed to start going through the sea at about 8 o'clock. And I got there, it was about 6 o'clock in the morning. And so I go through the check-in and she says to me, "Oh, that's okay, they are starting to load." So I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, well, that's still 2 hours early. That's a bit weird. But anyway, I go. And as I'm waiting, there were some hitchhikers that you can see on the photo. That was very interesting. I was wondering whether they were actually going to come onto the boat with us. But so I had still very much a presence at the moment to observe these moments, although there was a lot of stress. A lot of thinking. There was a lot of thinking I was doing to try and face each next step. But also, at the same time, I was letting go and I was thinking, I need to surrender to this. And I need to let it happen the way that it needs. And I need to trust that it will be okay. I will trust that my body is going to be fine, and I'm going to trust that I'm not going to get lost. I'm going to trust that my sat nav is going to work as I get to the other side of the boat in France. So then I get onto the boat, and then comes 7 o'clock, and then I start to see as if the port was getting smaller and smaller and further away from me. And I'm thinking, is that boat actually going now? And then I realized that yes, the boat was going, and actually what it was happening is that she had put me in the ferry before because I was early. So I arrived 1 hour earlier to France, and it made it so much easier for me because that was just one more hour I had for the trip. I drove down, and I had a worry because there was the Olympic Games, so I expected a lot of traffic from the north to Paris, and then down from Paris to the south, the summer holidays. But it was blissful. There was hardly anyone on the motorway. I did not have to stop into traffic jam at all. Yes, so that's the ferry. Sorry, I forgot to say to change the photo. So as I was on the ferry, I was really, again, finding peace within and noticing the sea and enjoying the vibration of the sea. It is really so powerful, and I really connect with the sea. So I really took that moment to enjoy the colors as well. And so then, as I drove in France, we can just stay on this photo for a moment. As I drove in France, I was at the same time I was motivating myself to keep going. At the same time, I was telling myself, or people drive like this all the time. It's just that I have never done it before, but it's okay. So I was trying to switch my thinking into positive. Whenever I had some fears coming, I was going back into that positive. And then I got very tired halfway through the trip. So I had planned for a place to stop. And so I slept there and I had a short nap there. And I was trying to fall asleep and I just couldn't because I was very tensed still, even though I was much more relaxed than I thought I could be with all the driving I had done. It was about, I don't know, about 10 hours I had been driving or a bit less. Still, I had a lot of tension and I thought I really need to rest. And then I said to myself, let it go, let it all go. And as I lied down there on the backseat of my car, all of a sudden my muscles completely relaxed and then I fell asleep. So I slept about an hour and then I drove back. I continued driving and then I arrived home. And so then if you want to pass on to the next picture. So this is my mom's house. And that's the view from her house. And so I will show you on the next picture, there's a tent that I pitched up the day before when I arrived at night. At 11:30 at night I arrived. So I started at 4:30 in the morning, arrived 11:30 at night. I pitched up the tent under a tree. And then in the next morning when I had breakfast, this was my view. This is my childhood. That is what my childhood was filled with. That was not exactly that view that I had when I was a child, but it was exactly that place. And so all of a sudden, after all the buzzing and all the tiredness of the drive and the London life, I arrived there and boom, I get that landscape. And I didn't even have to think. I was just keeping on looking at it and just enjoying its beauty. And that is where I think there's so much power in nature is whenever we feel that we have too much going on in the head, we just need to connect with nature, and nature reminds us on where to be inside of us. And I stayed there looking at it, and every breakfast, same thing. I would just enjoy the view and enjoy the food. If you want to go on to the next picture. So this is the tent where I slept for a month. I had never camped before. I had never slept in a tent before, so that was new. But as I keep doing meditation and practices as like yoga with myself, I learned to understand my needs better. I could have slept in my mom's house. I could have slept at my dad's house. They both are separated, so they've got two houses, one house each. But I felt that I needed my time away from everyone, my time to reconnect, my time to find myself again. Because whenever I go back to France, it's like I'm finding my old self again, I'm finding my childhood again, I'm finding the people again that I haven't seen in a year because I do this each year. And so that tent was so important to me because it was that space where I could be the me of now. No matter what happened in the day, no matter where I was, that tent, it was just me. And it's interesting every time I go back to France to see how different I am each time. Because I experienced my trip to France each year completely differently. And this year I was so much more peaceful, so much more detached, so much more calm. I wasn't getting things were not affecting me so much. And I could really relax. If you would like to put the next picture, please. So that's the view from my dad's house. from one side of my dad's house balcony. And as I was, there was interactions with people that were stressful, and there were situations were stressful. There were some memories coming back that were not comfortable either. But at the same time, there was this beauty, and every time it came back to relaxing me. It's a volcanic area, so there's a lot of volcanic energy to it as well. And I was connecting to that. And I was so much more mindful this year of all these things. And I was walking a lot more because I had to walk to get places. It's not like in the city where everything is at reach and I barely walk. And when I came back to the UK, I came to understand a lot of what my um, imbalances come from, and they come from immobility and from being inside so much. And when we are outside like this and we are enjoying nature, when we have to move to live, then we become healthy and we don't even notice it. When I came back to the UK, I was so much healthier than I was when I went there, when I went to France. Do you want to show the next picture, please? And then it's just the sheer beauty of what is shown, and reminds us of the light, to simply the light, the supreme consciousness and the earth. And every time that I was looking at this, I just kept mindful of this. And as I progress through life more and more, I find that I am more meditative each moment, more aware of how I feel within myself, and more aware of the beauty around me. And this year, when I went to France, I was really much more aware of this, and there was such beauties like this. Now, there's one thing about me that also I need to explain, is that I do paddle boarding, which is a sport. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. The next picture is going to show and explain what it is better. If you want to move on to the next photo. Thank you. So paddleboarding, we've got the board like this, and I am actually sitting on it, but most people will stand on it. And with this practice this summer, I let go of a lot of fears. Because, so this is an inflated board. It is not all that stable. It is stable when you sit on it, but when you try and stand on it, it's a whole other story. And this was a lake that is really big. I worked out last year that it is 130 meters deep. It's actually an old volcano that is dead now, extinguished. I don't know how we say it, but basically it's not having fire anymore. And it's little by little it's filled with water. And so I learned at the end of this summer that it is 1.5 kilometers diameter. And I went there 3 or 4 times, and it's about an hour and 15 minutes away from my parents' houses. And as I went and as I practiced the paddleboarding there, I would do each time all the way across and back, and then I would paddle around and do practices. But it can be very scary when you think that I am paddling and below me there's 130 meters depth of water. And as I was doing this, I was releasing the fears, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the vastness. I was releasing it as I was doing this practice. And so that is one of the things that I would do. Then if you would like, I don't know if we can show the next picture after this. Otherwise, I'm just going to show it like this. So here I am on my knees on the paddleboard. And it becomes a bit more wobbly like this. And not only that, but there's also quite a strain on the knees and the thighs. And so here I was practicing maintaining balance, and I was letting go of the fear of falling in the water. Because so when I was practicing like this, I wasn't too far from the edge, so I didn't have a lot to go. I'm a good swimmer, I'm a strong swimmer, and I can swim with the board dragging behind me. So if I fell, I have a leash attached to my ankle. If I fell, I could swim back. And so here I let go of a lot of fears, and then I tried to stand on it. Last year I managed to stand for 1 second, and then as I realized that I was standing and my thought was, oh, I'm standing, Bush, I just fell straight down into the water. And so this year, I practiced first on my knees, and then I practiced wobbling from side to side. So I was risking more and losing balance more, but also learning and being very mindful at the time of the feel of the board under me. And then this year, I managed not only to stand 3 times, I couldn't paddle with it, but I managed to stand 3 times, falling each time in all different ways. But also, I managed to even do a yoga pose on it, which is called downward dog. So things have much improved since last year because I've released those fears. The only thing that stands between me and that board is the fears. That is all. Nothing else. I have the muscles required, I have the ability required, I have the body required, but the only thing is my mind. And that is all I was working on with this. And so there was times that I was practicing falling, and then actually I'll talk about the rest of it after. But for this next picture, now here, that was another practice of mindfulness, and that is amazing, and also an amazing experience of relaxing. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in a pool and relaxing for the summer, but it is because with those bendy sticks that I've got there, I can't remember what they're called here, I was putting one under my arms and one under my legs, and I would simply just hang, and there I would completely let go of every tension. And it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same as when you're in a bed lying down. I was hanging and I could just let the water carry me, but also the gravity just take the whole load down and let it hang. And it was such an incredibly blissful practice. And so throughout each event of my holiday, I was doing practices like this as I went through my day. I'm bringing meditation into every day. I am cultivating my inner awareness through my body, but also through my senses. All the smells there were absolutely amazing. Between the lavender, the grass, the plants, the nature in general, and the summer, it's just absolutely amazing. So really using my senses to experience each moment. Yeah, so if you want to move on to the next picture, please. So this, this looks like I'm trying to tame a wild beast. And basically, there is a practice that we do with the paddleboarding, which is self-rescue, it is called. It is to learn how to climb on the board again after falling off. And that helps us if we are in a deep water and we have a long way to go back to the edge of the water, then we can climb back on the board and paddle away instead of having to swim and drag the board with us all the way. And so I was practicing this there. And so I had to become very aware of my body, very aware of the board. I tried so many different ways to try and climb on it, from the sides, from the diagonally, and all sorts. And it has some handles on it. And then eventually I started to do it from the back, and that's the only way that worked. And so I was at the beginning of doing it here. And what that taught me is two things. The first one is, again, working on the mind, that I can't do this doesn't work. It cannot help us to think that way. So I was always shifting in an I can do it, I can do it. And it was exhausting because I had to use my whole body. I had to push the board down into the water. The board is more than 10'6", I think, of length, and 36 inches wide or something like that. It's really big. So I had to bring it down and I had to pull myself on it. And my muscles are not good enough for that, definitely. So, but I still managed to do it once. But what I noticed with this is we can do all these physical things for so long, but at some point the body becomes exhausted. And so I would do it once, I would do it twice, and then after the second time, my body was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. I've had enough. So then I would stop and then I would do something else or I would rest. But this was a very good opportunity for me to understand how my body functions within its limits. The mind can limit it. The mind can can say no before the body can stop, before the body has to stop. The body can sometimes go beyond what the mind thinks. But there are times that I found myself where I was practicing standing and falling, where all of a sudden I would try to stand again and my body just would shake, 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 shake. And then I would stop. And the shaking is a good thing because it is the barrier, the mind barrier that tells us, oh, the mind says, oh no, we can't do this, but the body actually could. However, it is also the fears coming out. And after at some point in each practice, in each day that I did paddleboarding, at some point I would lie down on the board on the water and I would clear my mind and meditate. I would connect with the silence. And as I did that, the fears that I experienced at the time went away and I freed myself like this. I think if we go to not the next photo, well, we can quickly look at the next photo, please, if you can, just to show a bit more beauty. That was the moon. That was the beautiful moon one of the nights. I think I've got another one further down. I'm going to go quickly now because the time is running out. But if you'd like to show the next photo, please. So that's the same lake. It was one of the days where there was absolutely no wind. And I stayed there and just mesmerized because the time before there was so much wind that there was actually waves. And there was a time when I was trying to do my crossing all the way that I had to stop in the middle and I couldn't go all the way because the wind was actually blowing me off of the board. So I had to come back to the edge to be safer near the trees. But that day there, it was cooler. The weather was not as warm, but it was completely still. There was not many people, and I had an absolute enjoyment of that day because there was so much stillness, is the best way to put it. If you want to, if you don't mind skipping, we can skip this one and go on to the next one. Thank you, just to show again the beauty of the moon. And then I could finish with the next one, just so that we don't go over time. So some people of this group went to Paris before and had a practice of meditation, I believe, near the pyramid of the Louvre. This is a museum in Paris. It's called the Louvre. It's got an art gallery and it has those beautiful pyramids. And I went and I meditated there. I sat at the pointy corner of the first small pyramid, and I was facing them. No, sorry, I was on the other side of the small pyramid. But I had one of the pointy bits facing me, and I had the big pyramid in front of me and the small one behind me. And I sat there, and at first I was thinking, oh, but people are gonna want to take pictures, and I'm in the middle of it. Then I thought, oh, but maybe people need to sit here. Oh, but, and I kept on having so many thoughts like this. And then I just let go of the thoughts and I thought, no, this is my time. This is my place. I just sat here and I meditated for 15 minutes, I think. I had planned to do half an hour. And I stayed there and I meditated there. And then it started raining. So everybody ran inside. And so did I. And that was one of the most amazing moments because when people said that they had meditated at the pyramids from this group, I felt like I really want to do this and I wish I had been there. So that is the only thing I managed to have the time to do when I was in Paris. But I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I'll just finish. Sorry, I said I was finishing with this one, but if you want to put not the next one, but the one after, please. And then the next one again. Thank you. When I went back to the UK, I decided to break my journey into half, almost half. So I drove to Paris. No, the one before, please. Thank you. I drove to Paris. I stayed with my friends there. I went to the pyramids of the Louvre, and then 2 days later, I drove back up north to take the ferry. But the ferry was in the afternoon, so I googled to find a beach that was near where I was going to take the ferry, and this is a wild beach, and it was absolutely stunning. And so I normally, on a trip like this, I would be so scared, so stressed. I'd go straight to the ferry, I'd queue for hours, and I'd just want to be there. But that day I thought, no, I'm going to look after myself and I'm going to treat myself. And I went to that beach. I wanted to do paddle boarding, but I couldn't because there was jellyfish in the water and there was too much wind. But I enjoyed that moment and the sheer beauty of it and this connection with the sea, which really deeply touches me. And then I went and I took the ferry and I came home. And as I was on the ferry, I was very aware of the journey as I was progressing. Yes, thank you. You can put on the next picture. That will be the last one anyway. Thank you very much. As I was going with the ferry across the water, I was literally letting go of the past, letting go of this journey and coming back home. And that was an absolutely amazing experience. And I came back, I felt so much stronger, so much more powerful in myself, so much more proud also, and pride in a good way. Um, that's part of the ego, but it was a recognition that I was capable of doing what I set out to do, basically. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie Master. In spite of your cold, I could sense your nasal sounding. I made an attempt to not let us down and keep up with the presentation. Very well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we shall now show our appreciation by applauding for a few seconds. I was wondering how this presentation going to be, because I thought, is it adventure or is it to do with meditation and how your mindset would, tally with your venture? And I think that the latter was what you're trying to present. A few points I made, or shall I come back later? But I think they are important because people sometimes get carried away, because we must talk mainly relevant to the topic rather than, saying, oh, I did this trip and I did that. That's okay if you have enough time. Time is at a premium anyway. So connecting with the nature, I thought that was a very sweeping statement. It's happening naturally. You don't have to forcibly connect. As long as you are conscious and awake, not when you're asleep. When you're asleep, also you're conscious. You're connected. That's what your consciousness does all the time. I've said it over and over again. So, in other words, the nature. You're very correct. I could spend hours. One of the holidays I went to Switzerland, the hotel or whatever where I stayed, they were all meeting in the evening for a drink. But in my room, I could see the sunset, the mountain and lake. It was breathtaking. I just sat and watched for 2-3 hours, really. I didn't even go down. So,
Yeah.
as I said, the nature is so absorbing, particularly the sun, and I mean, the light changes as well, and the reflection. Likewise, sea, same thing. I've been to France many times in the ferry. I could just observe the waves, and then we feel relaxed. So that's about, in a way. And then the fear response is actually futuristic, isn't it? Because you anticipating a danger. Of course, at present moment, the consciousness would watch for danger sign, and that's it, really. If you extend it beyond, then it turns out as a fear response. And that applies to your positive and negative thoughts as well. Because positive thoughts are again futuristic. Future is, of course, a mystery. So, in a way, we are creating it. And the same with the negative thing, particularly with the past, because we regret, oh, I didn't carry out this way, I didn't do that way. But you can't turn back the clock. We know that, but mind draws in that way. I was wondering whether this is all part of subconscious mind. I'll take a little more time. This morning, I received a letter from my insurer. 3 months ago, somebody crossed in front of my car. It was not a pedestrian crossing. And I was actually going at a very slow speed, so the car stopped. So he didn't even though I asked him, are you hurt or do you want me to call the ambulance? He didn't respond. So I thought maybe he felt guilty and left. And now I realized he's making a claim. So I have actually prepared. I went back to the scene, did a bit of measurements, at which point he was knocked down and where was it, traffic lights. And now I'm ready. In fact, I had to write to the Metropolitan Police and I said, there were a few options. And one of the options is, are you prepared to attend the court? I've got all the enough information. So in spite of that, when I'm reading this letter, which says, they are being sent a letter of claim and they're waiting for the medical, evidence and so forth.
Report.
I felt my body was trembling. You just mentioned about trembling. Then I thought, what the hell I'm trembling for? I've got enough preparation. And then the trembling went off. So I think trembling is an autonomic activity, which is subconscious mind is doing. So I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. The subconscious mind is understood in a different way. Everybody is entitled for their own understanding, so I'm not going to interfere with it. But we are missing the vital part of this. So I this morning experience and what you described fits in there, isn't it? So I thought,
Yes.
why am I trembling? So anyway, I stopped there. Sorry, want to say some comments on it before I open to the floor?
Yes, I just wanted to mention this, that there are actually some therapies where we use trembling to release emotions.
Well, it can be cathartic, I suppose so. Okay. Right, let's go to the rest of the forum. Tara Master is in the first one, I think.
Thank you, Jagannatha Master. Greetings to all masters. Bonjour, Stephanie Master.
Bonjour.
Congratulations on driving all the way to France. That
Thank
was a
you.
splendid talk. You are a very good photographer. Very nice photos.
Oh, thank you.
The way you linked about the board and your body was amazing too. I hope you will deliver another talk to us again. Thank you very much.
Definitely. Thank you. Anytime that you need me. Thank you.
Greetings to all. It's a very good explanation and nice presentation. It seems you enjoyed very well. I also like to sleep in the tent in the window. The tent you are very strong lady to do all these things. I got a strongness. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one is Sugendra Master, I think.
Good evening, everyone. Stephanie Master, we really enjoyed your trip as we thought that we are traveling with you as well.
Wonderful.
And you are brave enough to go in that water. That's what I was thinking, because it was so deep and you tried all your best to do everything from paddling to stand up as well. But I don't think I will do it. But anyway, we really enjoyed your presentation, and thank you very much. We hope to see you go next time and show us more.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sugendra Master. Arundhati Master is next, I think.
Greetings to all. Thank you very much, Stephanie Master. Very interesting. And you started meditation how many years now? 12 years?
Yes, about 12 years ago. But like I was saying, I also was doing it as a child and I didn't know it.
Yeah. See, after doing meditation, you have brought so many things. I was just listening to your speech. Really, you brought the meditation into it, and you said positive thinking, let it go, and you trusted yourself and connected with the nature and the sea, water, and also you were always mindfulness, relaxing, and you let your fear all, by doing mindfulness, and that, yes, I will do it without hesitating that, no, I can't do it like that. So many things by doing this meditation, you have done so many, you have gone through so many experiences. While I was listening to you, I felt that you are a different person today because before also you were living in France, but you didn't have this type of experience. Same country, you have been visiting all these years, but this year, after doing meditation, when you visited, your entire trip was different.
Yeah.
Really, it's an amazing, interesting presentation. Even I felt that, while you were talking, so many things I have learned today from you. How you were, after doing meditation, you have got through all this. It is a very good teaching for us. This meditation can help us to come out from our body, toxic, everything. So thank you very much. Excellent presentation. I really thoroughly enjoyed your speech. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arundhati Master. Dr. Sada Master is waiting next.
Greetings to all. I was going to say a lot of things, all Arundhati Master has said almost. I'm going to repeat anyway. Stephanie Master, excellent presentation. Thanks for sharing your experience during your trip. What I was able to understand was your mindfulness practice and meditation and connecting with nature, gaining confidence and succeeding in life. Great presentation, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sada Master. Anybody
Rajesh
else?
Rajesh.
Yes, Rajesh Master.
Good evening to you all. Stephanie Master, I have noticed you as a yoga teacher, a very determined person, and never mind about anything. Ask you to go and do it. I've noticed that. And I thought you got your mind of your own, and you are a very, very determined person. And you have done a wonderful, beautiful, it's a thing that you can never forget, the holiday. It was very, very interesting to go. It's been going step by step, what you have done. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I don't think I had, or I will, or I am, got the talent like you. Very, very interesting. Everybody has said everything without covering everything. I'm just briefly said this. Very, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh Master. Sundaraja Master, I'm going to say...
Yeah. Greetings to all. As you all know, Stephanie is our regular yoga teacher for Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. UK time. This chair yoga and mindfulness session on our Zoom. In addition to teaching online, she also leads sessions in Hyde Park and Wimbledon Park as well on the last Sunday of every month. Stephanie Master has several years of meditation experience, which enriches her teaching. Today, she shared her experience from a trip to France with some beautiful photographs. When meditators go on a holiday, they often have unique spiritual experiences. And Stephanie's trip was no exception. We look forward to hearing more about her future travels and experience. I encourage everyone else to share their own spiritual insights from holidays or trips abroad as well. We will love to hear your stories when you return from your travels. Thank you very much. Now there are a few announcements to make regarding our...
Thank you everyone. Thank you. Stephanie Master, I liked about the special hitchhiker in your trip. The beautiful seagull.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting, a unique experience. I have been driving on the motorways or here many times. I have seen the human beings hitchhiking, but I have never seen girls being hitchhiked by yourself.
She wanted to take the boat.
Beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. That was a really good experience. The lake, I don't know the name of the lake. However, that lake photograph was you have a very photographic sense as well. Very panoramic view. It's really, really beautiful picture.
Thank you.
And also, even though you had facilities there with your dad and your mom, you chose a little tent to have your experience. That was great because you really wanted to experience so close to the nature. You have been with nature. Yeah, we know that. We all know that you have been loving nature and you are connecting with the nature. That's no doubt about that. However, you did that in a very spectacular way. Thank you so much. And I also like to thank you. It has been a great opportunity for me. So pleased to share your photographs on your first presentation on this one. Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing that for me. Thank you.
Not to worry. Thank you.
Master. Bhavani Master, next, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie Master. Thank you very much for your wonderful, wonderful photos, and you planned very well from the start to till the end on your own, and with a hijacker as well. And it's a wonderful, and the photos are good. The photos are very good, and they are very clear and very nice photos. And I enjoyed it, and it looks as if you are enjoyed as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavani Master. Arundhati Master.
Yeah, I have a question from Stephanie Master, because you have been meditating for last 12 years, more than us anyway. So you have an experience. You said the body can beyond the mind. Can you please
I said the
expand
body.
on that? You said body, sometimes mind says no.
Oh,
body,
yes.
Yeah. Can you please expand on that, please?
Okay, so for example, whenever that I'm doing yoga, I will hold a pose. For example, the downward dog pose. I don't know if you know what it is, but it doesn't matter. Where the whole body muscles are engaged, really. And I'll hold it for a while, and then after a while, I'm thinking, "Oh, I've had enough. I need to rest from that now." But actually, it's the mind that thinks that, but the body doesn't. The body can stay longer. And so I will stay in that pose. And I'm holding onto my hands and my feet in an upside down V shape. So it's really strenuous on the arms and the legs. And I will hold there, and then my body will start shaking. It's the fears. It's I can't do this. And it can come from many past traumas, many past experiences, or whatever it is that is lodged on the body, because our emotions and our traumas can be lodged I believe that they can be lodged on the body. So then, as we are doing these things and going beyond what the mind says, then the body starts to shake, and that is the release of the mental blocks that are located on the body. And then, all of a sudden, your body becomes stronger, become more able, more balanced, and can achieve a lot more. And because you have released that block, and then that allows the mind to then release those blocks, those thoughts that were blocking us from believing that we could stay longer. And then we are freer, and we have then unlocked a whole new world of possibilities in us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because the way you were explaining about your holiday, you went alone. You were traveling alone without anybody. And I was wondering, how did you do that? Even though we go with groups, still we couldn't do it. But you went alone.
Yes. But so I did stop. I stopped about every 3 hours, because there's a lot of rest areas along the way, because it was on the motorway mostly. And then what I did is I did a lot of yoga stretchings throughout the day.
During the break, you were doing yoga
Yes.
practice as well?
Yes, not a proper practice. I didn't take the mat
at
out and
least
do a lot of
some,
poses, but a few stretches, especially for me it was the feet and the legs mostly because of the driving, and the shoulders and neck. So I released those, and when I did that break where I slept, I also released a lot. You remember, I told myself I need to let go of all this tension because I was kind of like this because of driving for so long. So I released that. I thought it, and then I kind of sent my thought to my body, and my body just relaxed, and that helped as well. But the stretching in the rest areas was very important.
Okay, thank you, because you have practically made that, how you have got over all these fears and through the meditation, and even though your mind said no, but your body was doing it. So that's what I wanted to know. How did you do that? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie Master.
But
Thank
it's about understanding though, because sometimes if we do these kind of practices, we can also push ourselves too far and damage our bodies. So it's just like in the yoga class when I say understanding the good pain from the bad pain, it's also understanding, yes, shaking and allowing that shaking to happen, but also or releasing the fears, but also understanding when I was pushing myself on the board, I did it twice. After that, I knew that was it. I shouldn't do it anymore. And that was the limit because my body just wouldn't do it. My body literally went, no. And then I knew it. It wasn't a question of, oh, I'm scared to continue. No, it was like, that was it. And so it's learning to understand yourself and your body.
Yeah, because some people only do meditation, some people do only yoga, but you are doing both. So that's what I asked you, because when you do both, you will see the different, you can gain more. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank